Well, good evening and thanks for joining us for KREM 2 News 10 at 10, where we give you more news in less time. I'm Amanda Rowley. Mark is off tonight. Let's get started. We start tonight with a hearing that drew eyes from around the country today. Brian Koberger, the man accused of killing 4 University of Idaho students almost 2 years ago, was back in court today as his defense made their case to move the trial out of Latah County. Today, the defense team called 5 witnesses. The defense hoped this would convince the judge to move the trial out of the small community to a larger county. They'd like to see the trial held in Ada County, where Boise is located, but prosecutors wanted to stay in the area where the crime happened.
100 jurors walked into this room during voir dire. 66% of them already think he's guilty before they've heard any evidence.
The defense also pointed to strong media saturation in Latah County, which they say makes up less than 3% of the state's population. They're looking to move to Ada County, where about a quarter of Idaho's residents live.
If you have a certain number of stories divided by the population, the number of stories a person can see is fewer if the population is larger.
No word on when Judge John Judge will issue a ruling. The trial is currently slated to start in June next year. And the intersection of Sprague and Freya has reopened after a motorcyclist was killed after colliding with a semi this afternoon. Now, we don't know what led up to the crash. However, SPD says the motorcyclist died at the scene. The identity of the rider is expected to be released at a later date.
Got you on video.
Don't grab me ever.
New tonight, 2 women accused of assault in a road rage incident in Western Washington faced a judge today. Dashcam footage shows what happened on Highway 518 near the SeaTac airport. Troopers say the driver and passenger of the Range Rover got out of their car and punched through the victim's open window. The victim's husband spoke about the impact it had on her.
After being punched in the side of the head, my 77-year-old wife was diagnosed with a concussion. Subsequently, her baseline cognitive awareness is drastically lower. She did not recognize me in the following days.
Prosecutors have charged the 2 women with felony assault and illegally having a gun. They both pleaded not guilty. And new tonight, the Rose Lake Beach area in Kootenai County is closed until further notice due to high levels of lead. It's a 22-acre beach in the Idaho Panhandle National Forest. Says the beach area shut down after they discovered lead in the soil, sand, and dust. The National Forest says the area will remain closed as they assess rehabilitation strategies. Labor Day weekend is always a busy one for campers. Now, before they hit the road for the holiday weekend, DNR is reminding campers the warmer weather and fire season are not over yet. KREM 2's Connor McAvoy reports on the safety protocols first responders advise you to do.
The biggest thing is just being aware of your surroundings.
Linda Memmers from Tucson, Arizona, coming up to the Inland Northwest to camp at Bowl and Pitcher and volunteer for Washington State Parks. After years of recreating, she knows watching the weather is key, especially with wildfires sparking still being a possibility across the Inland Northwest.
This time of the year is usually very dry and no campfires are allowed.
No campfires due to the risk of unwanted sparks, and the holiday weekend is riskier than previous days.
We are going to see those warming conditions this weekend going into next week, despite the fact that, maybe things have been a little cooler.
Spokesperson for Washington DNR Thomas Kyle Millward says the last holiday weekend for many families is not one exempt from fire danger.
Until we see the temperature match the calendar, we're keeping vigilant ourselves and asking the public to stay as vigilant as well.
Like the surrounding fire danger at a high at the park. Campers are told to utilize gasoline or propane if camping, not wood or charcoal that could risk spreading across and up trees.
Certain things like smoking, be aware. If you're going to smoke a cigarette, make sure you put it out, that kind of thing.
Being cautious while excited for the holiday.
Most of them, this is it, especially people with family because, their school year starts. And so, yeah, we expect it to be completely full.
In Spokane, Connor McAvoy, KREM 2 News.
All right, with Labor Day in mind, let's turn things over to Chief Meteorologist Jeremy Legoo. Jeremy, I understand we are tracking 90 degrees. Thank goodness we get a little bit more of that summer before we head into September. I'm happy for it.
Yeah, you know, this time of year, 90s are kind of rare. In fact, we have a heat advisory. Sorry, I didn't mean to editorialize that. We have a heat advisory in effect this weekend, but every single person I've talked to says, heat advisory, that's awesome. I want 90s. Right now, we sit at 67. Why am I showing you the temperature this late at night? Because there's a lot of people downtown. No, actually because take a look at your temperatures right now. Overnight lows down in the 50s and 60s and even some in the 40s the next few nights are what are going to be our saving grace during this round of heat. Heat advisories stretch from Saturday to Monday across much of the inland Northwest as we build in a pretty pronounced ridge of high pressure. It's already setting up. It's already pushing quite a few things out of the region. And for us, high pressure dominates, like in a big way. 88 degrees and sunny tomorrow, 92 and sunny on Saturday, 95 come Sunday, staying in the 90s on Monday. Yeah, I know it's really, really hot, but look at those overnight lows, 54, 57, 60. You get plenty of relief from the heat every night.